Ah yes, the desk setup video. I spent the entire pandemic and continue to perfecting my desk setup. It's something that I've obsessed over. Countless trips to IKEA, countless trips to Office Depot, countless trips to Target to get the right stuff to make sure that my desk setup is exactly what I want it to be, and more importantly, what I need it to be, a space that I can walk into, and everything is there, everything has its place, everything has its purpose for being there, nothing is excess, and it's just the right amount of stuff to make sure that I can do what I need to do, which is make music and make videos and documents and all that other kind of stuff. In this video, I'll walk you through my setup and why I've focused on simple tech that makes my life easier. Before we get started, a friendly reminder to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate the support. Now on to the video. So here it is. Spectacular, is it not? No, definitely not the most spectacular desk ever, but really the most functional desk that I've ever put together. And I'm quite proud of some of the unique features that this desk has, because there are things that I didn't see in a catalog or pre-order or anything like that. There are things that I bought intending to use as something else and eventually became part of this desk setup, a very functional part of this desk setup. This right here is IKEA's finest particle board that you can buy for $30. I know it's very hip right now to use a solid block of wood, but I have a bad back. So me lifting a 60-inch wide table that is solid wood is not something that excites me in any way, shape, or form. I'd rather have something that's lightweight but still durable, and these IKEA desks are ridiculous. As long as you take care of them, nothing will happen to these things. IKEA, by the way, if you're watching, feel free to sponsor me. I'm not even kidding. But what really makes this desk rise to the occasion is the sit-stand motorized legs that I installed. I got these legs from Amazon in white to match the rest of the setup, and they're fantastic. Putting it together was a little confusing, but there's plenty of instructional videos out there to help you through the process. So this right here is actually a hat rack from IKEA. I bought it very specifically to use as a hat rack. And then when I realized I couldn't install it into my closet, I had to come up with like another solution for it. And I came up with this. This is stuck to the side of the table. It's actually stuck using double-sided tape from Gorilla Glue. So no screws, no nothing. Literally just put the tape on the rack, stuck it to the table for a few minutes, maybe like a minute or two, let go, and yeah. It's on there pretty tight. So it holds my headphones, any extra 1/4-inch cables that I may need, anything that I just need easy access to, all right here. To the left of the desk, I have a single IKEA Alex drawer unit that houses extra gear, mice, business cards, hard drives, etc. Behind that is a stackable shelf unit also from IKEA that I got for only $10. It houses picture frames of me and my groomsmen and other random knickknacks that I want easy access to. Next up, we'll talk about the computer itself. This, my friends, is the 2020 M1 Mac Mini, a computer that I made a whole video about that I'll link in the description box below. This is a beast of a computer, something that I'm quite impressed by as a Mac Mini to do things that I didn't expect it to do, including edit 4K video, produce my music with 32, 40, sometimes 60 tracks with effects galore, and it handles it beautifully, more than my 2014 iMac 5K Retina ever did with 32 gigs of RAM. It's hooked up to this 27-inch Thunderbolt display that I got pre-owned, but I only bought it for a couple $100. And then my peripherals, Apple wireless keyboard, Apple trackpad. I love these things. Now, as you know, the speakers on the Mac Mini are there, but I have these Bose computer speakers that sound great as my main audio source. Speaking of audio, as a musician and a producer, I've gone through various setups and tons of different gear to see what works, what doesn't work, what's worth the money, what's not worth the money. And we all know that buying musical gear is not cheap. Now, there are cheap options out there, but we want to make sure that we get stuff that is worth the money and does what it's supposed to do. In this section, you'll find a good mix of premium items mixed with not so premium items that still get the job done and work really well cohesively. First, the microphone. Behind the monitor, I've got the SM7B microphone, which is what you're listening to right now, and the adjustable microphone desk stand from Blue Microphones. Super convenient as I bring the mic front and center when I need it, and move it completely out of the way behind the monitor when I don't. The mic is connected to this Behringer audio interface, and yes, I know, Behringer, right? But you'd be surprised how solid the gear can be if you just give it a chance. They do exactly what they're advertised and nothing more. Another thing we didn't talk about is this guy right here. So this thing is an elevated platform that is actually a standalone floating shelf from IKEA. This is supposed to be a floating shelf that you just like attach to the wall and put stuff on. And then under that, I've got the Cord Cross, super lightweight, fantastic sounds that fits perfectly underneath this thing. So I can push it in when I don't need it, get it out of the way, and pull it out when I do need it, play my little song, and then push it back in and get to work. I'm not kidding when I say I've spent the entire pandemic making this work right. I wanted to make sure that I put together the perfect setup that I possibly could, because it was important for me that I come to a space that was peaceful, that I come to a space that is welcoming, that I come to a space that doesn't frustrate me, because the pandemic was frustrating enough. Being stuck at home was frustrating enough. I didn't want to add something else to that frustration as well. So it was really important to me to put together a space that when I walked into, I could instantly turn on that creative switch that I need to in order to play a song or write an email or whatever it is that I needed to do, that I could sit in this space or stand in this space and be welcomed by the vibe and the ambience that really went into putting all of this stuff together. That to me is super, super important. This is truly a space that I like to work. It's somewhere that I really look forward to coming in and turning on those creative juices and just getting active and getting creative and making content and just being productive more so than anything. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, leave a comment below and let me know what you think of the desk setup in general. And I will eventually make a video about my entire space. As you can see, there's guitars behind me. There's a keyboard over there. There's some speakers over there. So this isn't, the desk setup is not just the office. The office is a little more expensive than that. It's actually a small space. So I will make a video talking about how I utilized this space. I think it's not even 100 square feet. How I was able to turn this nook into my personal office / recording studio. I hope you will join me for that. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. It means the world to me that you would watch this content and subscribe so that you can watch more content. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.